So I'm Brian Hanrahan. I'm a Chief Commercial Officer at NuaPay, which is a open banking and account-to-account payments platform. We're currently being acquired by EML Payments, which is an Australian-listed payments group as well. We're here at Money 2020 for the next couple of days. So we really focus on open banking payments, and in that area, there's kind of two sides to the coin in terms of drivers. So the consumer side, consumer adoption is down to a lot of it comes down to trust and convenience. The good thing about open banking payments in at least the countries who've done it well is that you actually have a really good value proposition to consumers. The convenience is there. It's a mobile-centric payment method, authorized by biometrics. It's got instant pay in and pay out, capability. So quite a lot of value there for the consumer, and that's an important driver. On the merchant side, we kind of maybe see that as an easier case. So merchants have a lot of benefits from open banking payments. They get a much more cost-effective option, instant settlement, really kind of strong security, and at a good kind of conversion rate. So the drivers are kind of in that space, kind of classic payment method drivers. Once it's done well, and in some countries we really see that already being kind of in place. So like open banking is at a different stage in each country and region. We kind of have some which are regulatory led, standard based, and I think that's a kind of a much easier path forward. There are other countries where we as providers have to kind of navigate a much more complex situation, and we kind of deal with that complexity on behalf of our clients. So in both those cases, there are solutions, but it's just a kind of a different approach that the solution providers have to take. I think the other thing that's really important for payments is whether there's real-time payment rails in place in that country, and that's an important driver which we kind of tend to follow. So as NuaPay, we're quite a European-centric business. So we're licensed both in the UK and in France for the rest of the EU. We find that the UK is quite a bit further ahead in open banking payments. It's a kind of a thriving ecosystem. There's good standards there. OBIE have done a great job. And we also see now kind of major merchant adoption, including the UK government taking tax payments and so on. So really kind of nice situation there in the UK. In the other European countries, there's good progress being made. We can really see that happening, but it is definitely kind of earlier in its cycle. And I guess as part of being acquired by EML Payments, which is an Australian-listed company with a footprint in the US and Canada as well, we're taking a much more interested look at those regions. And there's some nice developments there with President Biden kind of introducing the executive order recently and other things. So it looks like it's kind of moving in the right direction in pretty much all regions, and those will be the ones we're most interested in. Yeah, so again, we really specialize, and payments is the center of what we're really driving. So we would work with a lot of merchants who are looking to kind of accept open banking payments in their checkout experience, in their kind of wallet loads. So situations like that where people are basically looking for an alternative to traditional card options, Visa, MasterCard, and so on. So that would be kind of a classic use case for us. And the other thing that we're doing a lot of is partnering with payment service providers to give them a white labeled option that they can offer to their merchants. So some of the biggest PSPs and acquirers in Europe and the world have chosen NuaPay as their partner. They embed it in their merchant proposition and their kind of checkout pages for those merchants, and that can be a really important way to just make it easy for people to adopt this. I'd say the other product or use case that we're seeing kind of really take off now is nearly open banking powered recurring payments. So we've created a product which combines open banking to authenticate the payer and establish kind of a direct debit mandate, and then we run the recurring payments over the traditional direct debit rails, and that kind of really kind of expands the scope of what we can achieve for merchants. So think about an insurance company or a mobile utility company. they're typically billing a customer over a long period of time, and this gives them a really nice kind of user experience and a better security experience for merchants as well.